My parents told my brother to take my house because I don't have a family. They showed up unannounced last Tuesday afternoon. I was making coffee when I heard car doors slamming. Through my window, I see my parents, my brother, his wife, and their 3 kids piling out of 2 vehicles. I hadn't given them my address. Before I could even open the door, my mom was already turning the handle. They walked straight through like they owned the place, kids immediately running to the spare bedrooms. My sister-in-law had this smirk on her face that I recognized, the same one she wore at family dinners when she'd make comments about my dating life. My dad didn't even say hello, just looked around my living room and said, "You've got way too much space here." My mom was already in my kitchen, opening cabinets, commenting on how I didn't have enough dishes for a real family. My brother walked down my hallway, measuring doorways with his hands. I asked what they were doing here. My mom said they needed to talk about my living situation. That's when my brother's oldest, who's 7, asked if this was going to be their new house. The kid said it louder when no one answered. My brother told him maybe, and to go play outside. I felt my chest tighten. My dad pulled me aside to my own bedroom. He sat on my bed without asking and said my brother needed this house more than I did. He's got 3 kids, his wife's 4 months pregnant with number 4, and they're bursting at the seams in my parents' place. I'm 32, single, no girlfriend, no prospects according to him, so it just made sense. I said nothing made sense about what he just said. He acted like I hadn't spoken. Said my brother would be moving in November 1st, that's 3 weeks away, and I could take the camper in my backyard. The camper. The same camper I lived in for 8 months after losing my job and my apartment during the pandemic. The camper I drove to their house in July 2020, desperate, asking if I could park it in their driveway for a few weeks while I got back on my feet. My mom had said it was an eyesore. My dad said they had a full house and didn't want me bringing my problems to their doorstep. My brother and his wife had laughed, called me a bum, took photos of my truck and posted them on social media with crying, laughing emojis. Now that same camper was good enough for me, apparently. I told them to get out of my house. My mom's face crumpled. She started crying, saying I was being selfish and breaking up the family over pride. My brother said I didn't deserve this house anyway. Said I had no one to fill these rooms, no family to build here, so why was I hoarding space? His wife chimed in that it was closer to my brother's work, better schools for the kids, and I should be happy to help family. My dad said they'd already talked to a lawyer, and since they co-signed something years ago, they had options. That was a lie. They'd never co-signed anything for me. I walked to my desk and opened my laptop, pulled up my email, scrolled back 6 months to May 23rd. The day I closed on this house, I'd been so excited that I'd sent an email to my whole family with photos. In that email, I offered my brother the spare bedroom, said he could rent it for $400 a month, utilities included, so he could save money and I could pay my mortgage down faster. It was a genuine offer. My dad had replied 2 hours later. I'll never forget what he wrote. Your brother would never live under your roof. You've always been jealous of his success and his family. Be grateful we even acknowledge you exist. Delete this email. I never deleted it. I turned my laptop around so they could all see the screen. Read my dad's reply out loud, word for word. You said my brother would never live under my roof. You said I should be grateful you acknowledge I exist. So why are you standing in my house right now asking me to give it to him? The room went silent. My sister-in-law's smirk vanished. My mom stopped crying mid-sob. My brother looked at my dad like he'd been lied to. My dad's face went red and he said that was different. That was before his wife got pregnant again. I asked how many kids they planned to have in my 3-bedroom house. My dad stood up and moved toward me. I held my ground. Told him he had 60 seconds to get his family out of my house before I called the cops for trespassing. They left. Didn't say another word. As they loaded into their cars, I watched from my porch. My brother looked back once with this confused expression, like he genuinely didn't understand why I said no. That's when I realized he probably didn't know about the email. My parents never told him I'd offered. They'd set this whole thing up expecting me to just cave. I went inside, locked my door, and blocked all their numbers.